is in Claremont, Florida. Hey, Brooke, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How can we help?
My question is, I have a 2021 Honda, the Lease. I actually just quit my job because I couldn't take it anymore, and Honda's the only one that can pay off my lease. I just don't know what to do. Obviously, I need a car. I don't know if I should finance something through Honda because they'll give me my payoff if I have them buy it. But I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what the best thing to do is.
Wow. How much is your car payment?
It's $678.
Wow. I can't breathe. And you quit your job, so you have no income.
I do. I got a serving job, actually, so
How old are you, 23?
I'm 24.
24, yeah. Almost like I've done this before. Wow. You got to be pretty scared right now, kiddo.
I mean, I have my boyfriend. He's there for me. We've been dating for a while. We just got a house, so I just know that my car.
Sorry. He just got a house?
I mean, we got it together. I'm on the deed, but it's his house, yeah.
Not if you're on the deed, it's not.
Well, yeah, so it's our house.
Yeah, guess so. I guess you're in a partnership with somebody you're not married to. Okay.
There's a lot here.
So what I want you to do is go get a KBB, jump online to KBB and find out what this car is worth, not what the dealer says it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to find out from Honda what the early buyout on the lease is. The used car market has gone bonkers, and it's very possible you can get enough out of this car if you sold it to an individual to pay off the lease.
Okay.
That gets rid of the disastrous mess that is called your car. Your car deal, honey, is cray-cray. It's over-the-top nuts. And it was exposed when you quit your job, but it was already crazy before you quit your job.
Yeah, what you're making in payments right now, you could save up in a few months and get a beater car to get you around.
Yeah, go buy you a $1,000 car with cash, drive that for a month, then go buy a $2,000 car with cash, drive that for a month, then go buy a $3,000 car with cash, drive that for a month, then go buy a $5,000 car. You're going to be able to do that once you get working again, but you got to get to working and you got to get rid of this payment. And I don't even want to start on you about buying a house with somebody you're not married to. You have gotten yourself into a mess there also. It just remains to be seen. So get married, please. George, I feel a little bit like we didn't have enough time to address all of the things going on in that young lady's life. So I think three things stuck out immediately in the call. And for the rest of you listening out there, here's what our advice would be. Number one, never buy a house with someone you're not married to.
Yes, that can create a whole slew of problems. But like she was saying, she's on the deed. And I don't know her situation on the mortgage, but if this relationship doesn't work out, this is a nightmare and someone's getting kicked out of their home.
Yeah, and they're also going to continue to own a home that they no longer live in and possibly be on the mortgage. And so basically what you formed in legal terms is a general partnership, and you have no partnership documents. When you are married, there's a whole group of laws that surround your rights.
To protect you.
When you are two single people buying a house together, you are forming a general partnership, and if you don't have general partnership documents, there is nothing to dictate what happens. And so he beats the crap out of you and starts doing cocaine, kills your dog, and you run off into the distance, you're on a mortgage with him, and you own a house with him, and you can't do squat about it. You're stuck. Maybe it's not as severe as that. Maybe it's not as bizarre as that, but you are stuck. So if you're going to shack up, one of you buy the house, the other one be the one that's going to leave when this doesn't work. Okay? And you're free then, and they're free. But there's no mechanism like in a divorce. There's a mechanism that forces what happens with the ownership of the house, the disillusionment of the assets of the marital assets. But there is no mechanism for this unless you spend $20,000 going into civil court and legal fees to get this disbanded. So it's just a nightmare. It's also a relational nightmare. It's also a lot of other things that are dumb. But in addition to that, you've just set yourself up in a financial, credit, and legal mess.
Yeah.
Okay? Number one. Number two, if you're upside down in a car, you owe more on it than it's worth, and you have a ridiculous car payment that you shouldn't have bought, and some life event occurs that tells you that, The way you get out of a lease is a lease has an early buyout. That is different than the total of all the payments. Okay, you can't just add up all your payments plus your residual value at the end. You call and get the early buyout because that is in effect, it's like getting an early payoff on your loan. When you pay a loan off 3 years early because you're selling it, you don't pay interest on all of those 3 years. And a lease doesn't technically have interest, but has cost of capital built in, and so it is a reduced amount when you pay it off early, an early buyout. So you need that number, it's your payoff figure, and you need what the car is worth. In today's weird world, for the first time in 30 years of doing this show, you might actually get more for the car than the early buyout is.
Because of how used car market.
Because the inflated prices on the cars. And so with her little Honda, let's say that little Honda sells for $38,000 and the early buyout is $36,000, then you could sell it to anyone for $38,000, but you have to give Honda the $36,000, which is the early buyout. You put $2 in your pocket in that case.
Get you a beater car.
If the early buyout is $36,000, you sell it for $34,000, you got to come up with $2,000 to pay the lease out so that the new buyer can get a clear title. You do not have to sell it to Honda.
Yeah, she
don't
said
want to
there's
go
only one option, which
from
there
a
wasn't.
frying pan into a fire and go finance another car if you're getting out of a mess. You go get a beater, a garage sale car that has a horrible color and is mechanically reliable, and you pay $750 for it at a garage sale. And it's a 1974 Ford. Okay, but it drives perfectly, and you're not going to keep this car. You're going to give it a name, and you're going to tell your grandchildren what you used to do. Back in the day, back in 22, I drove a car that was bird egg blue. We called it Old Blue. You'll be telling your grandbabies this someday, and this is the kind of car you need to buy when you're getting out of this mess. Number 3, don't quit your job unless you have another one lined up.
Yeah, she's relying on the boyfriend at this point.
Now you're really trapped. You got Honda around your neck, you got him around your neck, you got a mortgage around your neck, and you're going to get in panic mode. And just like we were talking about before we picked up the call with her, as soon as I get desperate, I get stupid. So I want you, listen, unless you're being harassed physically or asked to do something criminal, I just couldn't take it anymore. That's not no, you don't quit. Suck it up, Buttercup, and stick it out 2 more weeks for your I can't take it anymore, and go get you another job doing something before you just walk out cold.
Yeah. And that's the power of the baby steps, is you have options. When you follow these steps and you're debt-free, you got the emergency fund, you can breathe. And you might be able to quit that job and step into something else. And Ken Coleman talks about that all the time, bringing the boat close to the dock and having a plan.
It would take 48 hours to land another job in this world. And you're going to interview different while you still have that job. Take some of your vacation time and go interview. Take a day or 2 off and go PTO time, whatever it is, and go interview. Go get something else landed. So Proverbs says, "He who is impulsive exalts folly." Folly. I have been impulsive, and I have exalted folly. What that means is a folly is the verb of a fool in action. So when I am impulsive, I am, by definition, a fool in motion.
A fool in motion. I like that.
And so, impulsive is not, I just live free. No, that's just immaturity. And whether you're 54 or whether you're 24. And so I'm not picking on her. I'm just saying, some of you listening out there, these are some life lessons. You should listen to this show because it's entertaining. Thank you. But you should also walk away from the show every day going, I just learned something.
I want to be less foolish and a little more wise. That's my hope.
Less impulsive.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more grown up. I'm going to slow down just a little bit. I'm not impulsing a car. I'm not impulsing a house with a boyfriend. I'm not going to quit my job because I had a bad day. Just calm your butt down. I mean, really. This is just, I feel so sad for her. She's just got a mess on her hands. And I'm not picking on her, y'all, because I was a lot worse than her when I was 24. A lot worse. That's not the point. The point is, if we're going to listen to this stuff, we need to get what are the nuanced lessons out of this rather than just be aghast at how bad the situation is.